Because as we know, my job as a realtor is to market your property, get the most amount of people in it in order to get the best offer or multiple offers. So if you're not incentivizing people to come into your home, you are really taking off your nose to spite your face. So I don't see that changing for the majority of sellers who have always understood this practice and will continue to understand this practice with the right explanation from their professional agent. As I tell my sellers, 40% of my job is to price your home correctly, market your home and get the most and negotiate the best price. 60% is getting you to the closing table.
Hi, this is Dave Steinberg, back again with Orly Steinberg. One of the things that is on people's minds, if you're a professional realtor or if you're a home buyer or home seller right now, the recent settlement reached by NAR will have a major impact on the way you do real estate in 2024 and going forward. Orly Steinberg is an old friend, a dear friend. She is one of the top realtors in the country and a recognized a recognized real estate expert. Orly, tell us what you take away from the NAR settlement.
So first of all, having been in this business for over 35 years, we've gone through many changes, many markets, and I have found that not just for myself, but other very successful realtors, that you learn how to pivot. At the same time, you don't internalize all of the changes that are going on around you. So if you stay in your lane and stay focused on giving the service that your clients deserve, the change is not going to be as detrimental to those realtors as it will be for some others, because we've always had commissions that were negotiable.
So tell me what you mean. I'm not sure I'm understanding what you're saying.
So commissions were always negotiable, and the misnomer right now is that the seller can negotiate the commission and not pay the buyer's agent. Well, that kind of was always the case. It just wasn't talked about. It was just understood. And if a seller does not offer a buyer compensation, well, they're really taking away a very big marketing component and incentive from getting their house sold for the most amount of money. Because as we know, my job as a realtor is to market your property, get the most amount of people in it in order to get the best offer or multiple offers. So if you're not incentivizing people to come into your home, you are really taking off your nose to spite your face. So I don't see that changing for the majority of sellers who have always understood this practice and will continue to understand this practice with the right explanation from their professional agent.
I think that's the first point, because I think that there are great realtors of great integrity, and then there are people who are maybe great eventually, and then there are people who are just not great. And the great realtors have always been great communicators. And so I think you're right. If you go to a great realtor and to list your home for sale, that realtor is going to walk you through a set of guidance. We were talking about one of our friends earlier, and I know that he lost a deal because I introduced him to a client, and the other realtor was taking a slightly smaller commission. Now, it's a New York realtor. We don't have to say more than that. And you and I both know that he is probably one of the best realtors in the whole country.
Yes, he is.
The client did a short-sighted view and said, well, I think I'm going to save 0.5% on the commission by using A rather than B, and I'm going to go with that. boy, you just hope that, it turns out well for her. But when you work with a great realtor, they're going to give you a full set of guidance. And that includes what I heard you say is think about how you're going to net the greatest amount of money, because that at the end of the day is really one of the brass rings, right? You want to sell this successfully with as little stress as possible, and you want to net as much as possible. So why, if I'm a seller, do I care about how much I'm going to reimburse the buyer's agent?
Because you want to get those great buyer's agents who are going to literally hold the hand of the buyer and make sure that nothing falls between the cracks to get you to that closing table with the most amount of money. Because as I tell my sellers, 40% of my job is to price your home correctly, market your home and get the most and negotiate the best price. 60% is getting you to the closing table. And there's a very high fall through rate for some realtors especially. So, and to start all over again is actually negative marketing, because your days on the market have ticked up. People now start to ask what happened, what's wrong with the house. Nothing's wrong with the house. The buyer didn't get their mortgage because that buyer's agents didn't do their due diligence by getting them to the right mortgage person and doing what they needed to do. But nobody knows all of those details. So you want to pick the people, the team around you in a transaction that's going to make it seamless until the closing. And those good buyer's agents are worth every penny of what you're paying them.
And we've both been in transaction after transaction where the difference between a professional agent and someone who is a licensed realtor but may not be world-class is huge. It's in the preparation, it's in the analysis, it's in the communication. And so, boy, I would much rather work with a professional realtor any day than an amateur. And I'll tell you a story right now. I've got to camouflage some of the information, but I have a client who had a contract that they were ready to sign, and over the weekend they found out that the property only has one parking space and they need two. And it was devastating to them because they were all excited. These are older people, real, seniors. They were devastated and they had to withdraw, and a lot of emotional stress. I believe that if they had a better realtor, that would never have happened.
No, because you do the prep work ahead of time. I mean, when I meet with somebody, it's never about the brick and the mortar. It's about them. It's about consulting them like a life consultant. What's going on in your life? What's your lifestyle? What's driving this move? Where are you going? How can I help you get there? And sometimes I'm the first one to say, you're not ready. Whether the husband is not ready to retire yet, somebody is resisting the move, it's not the right time for them. Financially, they're not ready yet. They haven't put all their ducks in a row. It's your job as the professional to say, let's wait. Let's wait until all the ducks are in a row, and then things will happen much smoother as opposed to trying to force it. So that's the difference. And to your point of the other buyers' agents, we all have the app ways. We know how to get to the house. We all have a keypad. We know how to open the house, and we all have access to the MLS. That does not a realtor make you. It's the nuances of finding out what the underlying agendas are sometimes. It's the experience of knowing how to keep a deal together. So it is a win-win at the end of the day. And that's really what the seller is paying for.
And how to achieve a meeting of the minds.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So, right. If you had a crystal ball, if I put you on a spot, 6 months from now, what do you believe will change in the practice of real estate in our market?
So I'm always the one to say the sky's not falling, and I really don't let these things affect me. I'm just one of those people that has a very healthy dose of denial in that I don't have a knee-jerk oh my God reaction to anything that happens that comes my way. Maybe that's the Israeli in me. And I always say that there's a lot smarter people than I am on a high level, whether it's NAR or my leadership team, that will figure it out. And once they figure it out, I will figure it out. However, having said that, I think this will elevate the value of realtors. Those that will have to put more value in what they bring to the table will have to up their skills and master their skills. And those that don't will go by the wayside. And frankly, we have too many licenses right now anyway in the United States. So it's going to clean house. And I think it's going to elevate our industry to a higher standard, which is what we need and is not a bad thing at the end of the day.
Orly, thank you so much. This has been so much fun. This has been the Mortgages Made Easy podcast. I'm Dave Steinberg, and we've been sitting with Orly Steinberg. Orly is not a relative, but I wish she were. And Orly is one of the top realtors. She's with Keller Williams in New Jersey. And I strongly recommend you look her up, or if you are either buying or selling a home in New Jersey. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure.